Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. Sitaram. Greetings from 34th Street. And I'm going on a trip today to Philadelphia, and you're coming with me. So on 34th Street, we actually take the bus, the Megabus, reasonably priced. You could save money if you book months in advance. I was told you could pay as low as $4 for a ticket. So we're entering Philadelphia. Here we are on Broad Street, Springfield Station. I actually walked up the road from the last point that the bus alighted, and I'm eventually reaching here. This is downtown district. This is City Hall district. And this architecture of long straight streets was designed by William Penn. And there's a colonial luster to it, but nothing more full of colonial luster than the terminal market, the Reading terminal market. So when I enter here from the front entrance, this side of the market, we're looking at Muller chocolates. And there's so much variety in this chocolate company based in Philadelphia, actually. They have chocolate on pretzels, chocolate on fruit, chocolate on nuts, chocolate on almonds. They have chocolate that is infused with liquor. So this is really the place to go for chocolates. Chocolates on donuts. It's really crazy, right? But in a good way. And then if you want some Italian bakery items, check out the Bros, Terminal Bros. And here we see a lot of cannolis, actually, with ricotta cheese. We see a lot of different kinds of donuts, and again, chocolates, German chocolates, French chocolates. All kinds of different chocolates seem to be on display. I'm not exactly sure why macaron and these chocolates are so popular in Philadelphia. I'm not even sure if it's because of the companies that make them or if the Phillies just have a sweet tooth. But I couldn't help but notice that in this Reading market, there weren't just farmers markets for goods, for food, but there were definitely, a lot of confectionaries. So Philadelphia seems to have that rich history of confectionaries now. That's, to me, kind of interesting. And this actual Reading market has been around since 1793. So it served the communities and all the districts of Pennsylvania with distinction. But I even liked this bakery, the Colombe Bakery. I thought they were very good for their pretzels, and the display of the donuts seemed to be quite enticing. They had these nice little pot pies, miniature pot pies made out of pecan nuts. I thought that these would make really good Christmas gifts, So I did notice some of the visitors, actually, they were all excited purchasing some of these items. And you have like cinnamon bread, Swiss rolls. I mean, it's so very European in a way when you look at the bakery scene. The Italians have also come to town, and definitely the Italians are shining in the Reading market. So I did not actually eat this Italian food here, but I had a long conversation with one of the vendors who operated this store, and she was explaining to me that they guarantee there's no cross-contamination, that their tomatoes are truly sun-dried, that they sun-dry the aubergine or the eggplant. They then, infuse it with balsamic vinegar, and that their pastas, their primaveras are all made to high hygiene standards. And I believe them. I actually do. Because the color, like the rich color, the freshness of their salads, I think that if you want to get a good pasta meal, you could probably have it here in the Reading market. So I'll rate them highly for that. Look at some of the other items on display. You can have a really high-end, high-quality salad. But just to give you a sense of the kind of groceries or food establishments we have, I thought I would just enter one. There might be about four of these fresh farmers markets, supermarkets. But I must admit, though, that I'm not convinced that they're really farmers markets. They might be hyper gentrified markets with processed foods. And what worries me is that the prices for food in the market may be actually on an increase because of the gentrification of the area in this market. So we do know that Philadelphia has social problems like poverty. It's the poorest of the big cities, the founding cities in the United States. And it's kind of shocking that all this beautiful food is at a price that, the common person on the street cannot afford. And when you think about that, it really makes you wonder, if this gentrification and beautiful kind of market underneath the arch is really necessary. Could there have been a more rustic version of a market that would have been cheaper? So these are all questions, I'd like to ask, but I thought I was really impressed with the Jamaican restaurants in here. They had vegetarian options to show me, but I didn't buy any. I guess to me something sounds a little bit strange when you start referring to callaloo as spinach, green spinach with garlic, and not being brazen enough to embrace the Creole callaloo. However, as I said, the food itself was really good from what I saw. And this was a constant theme. Spataros or another like Italian American establishment, presumably specializing in the Philly cheesesteak, and they chop up, with huge dexterity the meat. Obviously, I am not a fan. Certainly not a fan, but the truth is that this Reading market was and still is like a famous meat packing district. And I suppose that America has been built on the farming community and the legacy of the wealth of farmers. So it makes sense that this market doesn't just promote farmers' quality items, but is itself a kind of hub to attract investors. Right, so that's really interesting. Then the coffee scene in Philly market is amazing. So you can have lots of coffee. If you want to go and get advice on what plants to grow, what flowers to grow, they have a horticulture section for you. So I think like there is something in the Reading market for everyone, but you have to be wary about the price. You need to be wary if you can't afford it. And I actually know that this criticism against the market is a plausible one, because there has been a huge issue about gentrification recently coming up in Philadelphia, especially with Chinatown that we're going to discuss. I loved the stall and the display by Fudge. The name says it all, Fudge. And I was really impressed with the variety, the peppermint fudge. They had mint fudge. They had pistache fudge. They had strawberry fudge. They had all kinds of fudge. But it was time to leave the market. And I was in search of cheap food. And I'm passing through what is considered to be more of the dodgy part of Chinatown. But of course, there's xenophobia with that assumption. And this is Chinatown. There's now a movement and the plan for the Philadelphia 76ers to have a huge arena built in Chinatown, an attempt at urban regeneration. Of course, it does not just displace the merchants from China, Vietnam, and Japan, but it will also displace a lot of people who get access to cheap housing. And the question emerges about the real worth, the value of these ethnic enclave communities. Should they be marginalized by commercialized entities in the interest of capitalism? As we see here, one of the final relics of Chinatown, bye-bye from goodbye. All the best for the new year. नए साल की बहुत शुभकामनाएं सब लोग और सेहबक मानी बाता सोयो फिर मिलेंगे खुदाफिज see you soon